Over the last 2 weeks, the men's NCAA basketball tournament has been in full swing. By Sunday, there will only be 4 teams left to determine one champion. Photographer Jennifer Hayes and reporter Sierra LeMay take you back 26 years to meet a local who is part of a team that pulled off what many consider to be the biggest upset in tournament history.
A 6'7" junior from Mystic, Connecticut, number 21, Harold Pressley.
For me, it was just being in the moment, just enjoying basketball each and every time I got on the court. And it really wasn't for college or the NBA. It was just because I wanted to be good at it.
Former Villanova player Harold Pressley didn't always have his mind set on playing basketball for Villanova.
I went on a visit with Georgetown, and I stayed with Patrick Ewing, who I thought very much of. And when I went to Villanova, I stayed with Dwayne McClain. Now, both of these guys I knew from playing against or going to camp with, and so either way it was going to come down to a good decision.
One factor led him to choose Villanova.
I actually chose Villanova because Rolly Massimino and I, which is the coach, really hit it off. And that's really what it came down to, the personalities and just connecting with Rolly Massimino.
It was one decision that would change Pressley's life forever. The 1985 team was unranked going into the NCAA tournament and faced a major challenge.
This is the last time ever a team had to play on an opponent's team's court. So we had to play the Dayton Flyers in Dayton on their home court. We ended up beating them, which meant we had to play the number 2 team in the country, Michigan.
Going into the second round, Villanova, an 8th seed, had to play the number 1 seed in the Southeast region, Michigan.
Hope to derail a Michigan team eyeing a place among.
And we ended up beating them by, I think, 4 or 6 points. Which led us into Maryland.
Maryland had beaten Villanova by 3 points earlier that year.
We knew that was going to be a tough game. After beating them, we had to look forward to North Carolina.
A ticket to Lexington and the Final Four.
The 2nd seed, North Carolina, had eliminated Villanova in the NCAA tournament the previous 3 years. Going into the half, they were down by 5 points.
Why are we playing so tense? We know how to play. We know that we can beat this team. Why are we not going out there and performing? Relax and play. It's only a game. And we came back to beat them by 15 points at the end of the game. So that got us into the Final Four.
Between rounds, the team had to return back to Philadelphia to attend classes.
You still have to study. You still have to keep up your schoolwork and get your grades and show up at classes. And that was, it was very special because everybody was pulling for us. The whole school is very much into it. And the teachers, the first thing, when you walk into class, the first thing you say, what do you think? We're going to win this weekend? You know, we sure hope so.
Villanova beat Memphis State 52-45 in the Final Four. Up next, the championship game.
Now we're in the final game against Georgetown. Remember, Georgetown was a team that was the only other team that I was really going to go to other than Villanova. And here we are in the finals of the 1985 championship.
Villanova was 20-point underdogs to Georgetown, a team who they had lost to twice that season.
We knew we had a chance, but nobody else in the country thought we had a chance. So we went into that game just completely relaxed and confident, and we knew what we had to do in order to change what had happened in the first 2 games.
You can feel it, that we're there. We're in the final game, one more, and it'll be total hysteria.
We had to play a perfect game in order to beat Georgetown, who was so good that we only beat them by 2 points after playing a perfect game.
The final score was 66-64. Villanova's victory is considered to be the biggest upset in NCAA history.
Georgetown had beaten them numerous times, a few close games, but it was the biggest game. It was the national championship game, and I'll just never forget watching the game. Harold Pressley played in it, and Villanova upset this heavily favored Georgetown basketball team.
After the championship game, the team came home to find their school was shut down.
When we got back to Villanova after the championship, the school was closed down. They had to shut down the school. They sent everybody home because everybody was so happy that they started doing crazy things on the campus. They started flipping over cars and burning down trees, and I mean, they just couldn't take it. They just shut down the school and sent everybody home.
Wood Creek High School senior Devin Murphy plays on the boys varsity basketball team. He can relate to Pressley because he recently played in the NorCal State Championship Tournament.
If we're losing or like really down by a lot, we just tell our players to keep their heads up and keep working hard. Even if we're down by a lot, just keep your heads up and keep playing. You never know what can happen.
Anytime you're put down or you're told that you can't do something, then what do? You just work that much harder and you focus that much more and you get it done. Here at the Hardwood, I do a little bit of everything. I'm called the marketing director, but I do everything. I train, I'll clean up, whatever it takes. So I'll take tickets, I schedule events. I do everything here at Hardwood.
While coaching, Pressley advises athletes to always follow 3 things.
You want to stay away from drugs and alcohol. Just stay away from it. Get the best grades you can get, and then work your tail off on the basketball court. If you do those 3 things, you're guaranteed to be successful.
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographer Jennifer Hayes, I'm Sierra LeMay.
After the Villanova Wildcats won the championship, Pressley was heading home to Connecticut when he got the word that President Reagan called. A few days later, the team traveled to the White House to meet the President of the United States. Today, Pressley runs several basketball programs at the Hardwood Palace off of Industrial Boulevard in Roseville. For more information about his camps, go to www.hardwoodpalace.com.